The next question is from Lisa McGinley to Mr. Needleman.
Mr. Needleman, with benefit agreements with state labor unions locked in through 2022, how can the legislature find the necessary labor savings to get the state budget under control? And would you also tell us what other ideas you have for restoring the state's fiscal health?
Yeah, sure. I think that contracts are contracts, and they've been negotiated in good faith, all be they bad contracts in some cases. So I think we have to live with what we have or do our best to bring people in a voluntary way to the table, because I don't think we can compel them to come to the table. I think the long-term solution to Connecticut's fiscal problem is going to be to grow the economy and to control spending. And as I've said, every legislator loves to put things for towns and their district in bills so that they can say they put them in their bills and that they support their town's efforts. So we spend money, and then we try to figure out where to get it. I think that we need to control spending and grow the economy long term, but the devil's in the details on that, and it's not a 60-second answer.
Well, maybe we'll give a little more time. So Senator Linares, one, the issue about the contracts that are locked in until 2022 on the benefits, which should there be some consideration trying to reopen those, and then your ideas more broadly on how to address the state budget crisis, and you have 90 seconds.
I think we should reopen those contracts. What we should do is start making changes to our pension plan from 2022 and beyond, shift it to a defined contribution plan. Only 25% of state employees contribute to their pension, and the ones that do contribute 2%. That is the lowest contribution in the country. Our pension plan is 45% underfunded. We have a $70 billion liability. Mathematically, the system is going to break unless we make a change. New employees, new state employees, should contribute more of their annual salary to their pensions. And current state employees have to be open to negotiating, contributing more as well. That way, they will have retirement security. They will know that their pension will be there when they plan to retire. And that's important not only for them, but also for future generations. As our debt service payment increases, it's going to crowd out our ability to invest in education and transportation in this state. We need pension reform to be able to pay for pencils, to be able to rebuild bridges for the future of this state, for the solvency of the state, and to help bring Connecticut back to the top economically.
To the timekeepers, I'm going to give both our candidates one more minute on this question. Mr. Needleman, I know it's certainly not going to solve the state's budget problem in a minute, but perhaps you could, in a minute, share one idea you might have for trying to get the state in better fiscal health.
Sure. I actually agree that new employees should be in defined contribution plans, and the state should negotiate that. And where possible, I've told people that if I was in a different position, because I'm a municipal CEO and the CEO of my own company, so I've dealt with budgets, I've built them, I've lived them for my entire career, 37 years in business, 200 employees, and now a town. I would sit all the interested parties down at a table. I would hire the best bankruptcy attorney in the country, and I'd say, come in and read everybody the Riot Act. We're all in it together. We either solve it together or we go down together. Because I think that a come to Jesus moment has to happen for our interested parties in the state. So I would work hard to find those solutions. I would try where we can legally to limit benefits, but I think it's really a matter of controlling spending and increasing jobs.
And be fair, I'll give a minute to Senator Linares if you want to comment further on what perhaps could be done in this situation.
Controlling spending and ending wasteful spending is something I've fought for 4 years. Under Dan Malloy and the democratically controlled legislature, we have seen runaway spending. We have seen millions and hundreds of millions of dollars spent on programs like the busway and tennis courts and $300,000 for a mileage tax. And never once has my opponent reached out to my office to say thank you for voting against that budget or to complain about what's happening in Hartford.
All right, thank you. We'll move to the next question.